Hello students, to understand all about field effect transistor. Transistor which we have studied, we called it as BJT, bipolar junction transistor, right? Bipolar junction transistor. And here the transistor which we are going to understand, we will call it as FET. Let us try to understand the basic difference between these two transistors. Okay, so what I said, first we try to understand transistor, the two transistors BJT and FET. Okay, BJT stands for bipolar junction transistor, bipolar junction transistor, and under this heading we try to understand NPN transistor and PNP transistor. Okay, and all the electrical parameters, all the configurations, types, everything we have studied, input and output characteristics, detailed study we have done for BJT. Now this is called as bipolar junction transistor because if you remember or recall the working of NPN and PNP transistor, the current conduction in transistor is because of both the charge carrier, okay, transistor is because of both the charge carrier, both, that means electron as well as holes. Okay, so in BJT, current conduction or the current which is flowing through the transistor is because of both the charge carrier, electron as well as holes. Whereas in field, this is called as FIELD, field effect transistor. Okay, field effect transistor, and the field effect transistor is further divided into JFET and MOSFET. Okay, MOSFET. And the basic difference between BJT and field effect transistor is here current conduction is because of only one charge carrier. Okay, that means current conduction will be, here we written the charge carrier, both the charge carrier will be taking part in the process of current conduction, electrons as well as holes. Here the current conduction will be because of only one charge carrier, that is either holes or electrons. So that is the basic difference between BJT and field effect transistor. Okay, so now further when I elaborate field effect transistor, as I said, it is JFET and MOSFET. Okay, JFET and MOSFET, and as I said, the current conduction will be because of only one charge carrier, either holes or electrons. So if the current conduction is because of holes, the type of JFET is called as P channel, and if the current conduction is because of electrons, then it is called as N channel. Okay, so when we start, we'll start with FET, that means different types of FET, JFET and MOSFET. We will try to understand how P channel JFET is formed, what and how it works. Similarly, then we will go for N channel JFET and try to understand the construction and working of N channel JFET. Then we will move to MOSFET. ये मैंने आपको already बताया था, a chapter which we have studied in paper 2, logic families, not now, probably semester 1 logic families. There we studied MOSFET, CMOS family. One was TTL, and the other one was CMOS. CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. So the basic transistor which was used there, we will try to understand its construction and working over here. So MOSFET again are of two type. One is called as depletion, the other one is called as enhancement type. Depletion type and enhancement type. Okay, and again depending upon which are the majority charge carrier which will take part in the process of conduction, they are p channel, n channel. Similarly, enhancement will be p channel and n channel. So this is what we have to focus in unit number 3. We will start with understanding of FET, JFET, MOSFET, then P channel, N channel, JFET, MOSFET, depletion type, enhancement type, both P channel, N channel for each of that. So that is what is the basic objective of understanding unit number 3. I hope whatever I have told you, the basic difference between BJT and FET, you have understood. Now let us try to understand the first type of field effect transistor, that is JFET. JFET stands for junction field effect transistor. Junction field effect transistor. As I said, the current conduction in field effect transistor will be because of only one charge carrier, either electrons or holes. And if the current conduction is because of electrons, the type of FET or JFET will be called as N channel JFET. And if the current conduction is because of holes, the type of JFET will be called as P channel JFET. So we will try to understand construction and working of both N channel and P channel. It's very easy for you to understand. Before going to the construction part, just recall how many terminals did we had for BJT, either NPN or PNP. If you recall, the transistor had 3 terminals: emitter, base, collector, right? Emitter emits all the electron, base controls how many charge carrier will go into collector, and collector collects the charge carrier, right? Emitter, base, collector, and therefore we had an equation I is equal to IB plus IC. That was the current equation for transistor, whether it is NPN or PNP, it is true for both, right? In N channel, suppose the first type we will try to understand N channel JFET. Okay, so as I said, BJT has 3 terminals: emitter, base, collector. Okay, in this JFET again we have 3 terminals. The 3 terminals are source, drain and gate. Okay, I will tell you the meaning when I make you understand the construction. The 3 terminals are very different from BJT, emitter, base, collector. Here it is source, drain and gate. Now suppose if you want to design an N channel JFET, so first thing what you have to do is the first thing you have to take is N type semiconductor. Okay, N type semiconductor. N type semiconductor, that means it will have large amount of free electrons. Okay, then these 2 terminals, this N type semiconductor acts as a resistance between the 2 terminals. This 2 terminal is called as source and drain, because the charge carrier will move from this terminal and it will be collected by this terminal. So that is why the name source means the charge carrier will move from this terminal. Drain means it will be get collected by this terminal. Okay, so source and drain, this is the 2 terminal, and on both side of this N channel JFET we dope trivalent impurity. We dope trivalent impurity to form a P type semiconductor. That means, what is this we have an n-type semiconductor in which you have doped trivalent impurity to get p region. When you get p region, what happens is this is p-n junction, right? That means you form two p-n junctions on either side of the n-channel JFET. So these are the another two terminals, but these two terminals are always internally connected, and this terminal is called as gate. Okay, so now we have three terminal: drain, source, and gate. The two p-n junction which are formed either side are connected internally together. In the next part, that means when I will explain you the working, I will not show this interconnection. You have to assume that these two p-n junctions are internally connected always. So this is the construction part. Okay, and the region between these two p-n junction is called as channel. Okay, over this channel the electrons will move from source to drain. Okay, now this is the construction part of n channel JFET. Okay, construction of n channel JFET. Now let us try to understand the working of n channel JFET. Okay, so again let us take n-type semiconductor. The two terminal which we take out is called as source and drain. This is drain, this is source, and what we have taken is n-type semiconductor. Okay, and on either side we have to dope trivalent impurity to form a p-n junction. Okay, both sides will be doped with trivalent impurity, so we get 2p region. As soon as a p-n junction is formed, we know there will be a depletion layer which will be formed on the p-n junction. A very small depletion layer will be formed. Okay, and the area between these two p channel will be allowed to move the charge carrier from source to drain, which is called as channel. Okay, this is the channel. Now first of all, what we do is these two p-n junctions are internally connected and one terminal is taken out called as gate. Okay, now collect a polarity between source and drain so that charge carrier will move from source to drain. As I told you, this is a n-type semiconductor. Okay, n-type semiconductor, that means it will have large amount of majority charge carrier will be electrons. Large amount of electrons will be there. So what is the polarity which has to be applied? So the polarity should be such that this electrons will be repelled by the source and attracted by the drain. So source should be connected to negative and drain should be connected to positive. This negative terminal will repel the electrons and the positive terminal will attract, and the potential, this potential we have applied between which two terminals? Source and drain. So the potential is called as VDS. Okay, VDS. And as soon as VDS is applied, these electrons will be repelled by the negative terminal, so they will move towards drain through the channel between the two p-n junction. Okay, now what we have to do is, of course it is a transistor, so transistor we have to control the current flowing through the transistor, and that is done by an external field which has been applied. Therefore the name junction field effect transistor, and that voltage is applied between gate and source. Okay, we have to, whenever we have to connect a potential between gate and source, we have to reverse bias. Potentials. So what should be the reverse bias? This is p region and source is n region. So for this p-n junction to be reversed bias, what has to be done is p should be connected to negative, n should be connected to positive. So this is the polarity which has been applied between gate and source. Okay, so gate is connected to negative terminal, source is connected to positive terminal. We have to reverse bias the gate and source terminal. So this potential is called as VGS, gate to source voltage. Okay, and the current which is flowing through the circuit is called as IDS, drain to source current. Okay, drain to source current. Now tell me what happens when VGS is 0. VGS is 0. That means suppose if I apply a switch, okay, this is a switch and I've kept it open. That means if I keep this as open, there is no potential between gate and source. And if there is no potential between gate and source, what happens is the channel width will be maximum. At that point, large amount of electrons will move from source to drain because of VDS. So when VGS is 0, we say IDS, that means drain to source current will be maximum. Now suppose if I increase VGS, that means I applied the switch. As soon as I on the switch, what happens is this polarity is applied between gate and source. Both the P region starts, both the PN junction which is formed on the either side of the JFET, what happens is they will start becoming more and more reverse bias. And what happens in reverse bias condition? The junction resistance increases. The junction resistance increases means the depletion layer width increases. That means what will happen is the depletion layer width increases. Okay, now what happens as soon as the depletion layer width increases? What happens? What you can see is the channel width, depletion layer जैसे बढ़ेगा ये channel width कम हो जाएगा, और अगर channel width कम हो गया तो उस टाइम पे less amount of electrons will move out of source and drain. That means IDS will decrease. Okay, and when VGS is maximum, what happens is the depletion layer width इतना बढ़ जाएगा, the depletion layer width will increase to such an extent that there is no channel width. What you can see is वो जो channel था वो गायब हो गया, अब वो channel है नहीं. That means उस टाइम पे जो हम लोग का जो सर्किट है that will provide the high resistance. High resistance मतलब no electrons, electrons के पास में जगह ही नहीं है कि they will move from source to drain, right? So the channel width will be the depletion layer width will be maximum. When VGS is maximum, what happens to IDS? Will there be any current which will be flowing from source to drain? There is no place. The entire channel has been occupied by the depletion layer width of this 2 PN junction which has been reversed bias. So no charge carrier will move from source to drain. So IDS will be 0. Okay, so current conduction in the circuit is because of only one charge carrier, that is electrons, and the movement of the charge carrier or current conduction of the charge carrier depends upon the external field which has been applied. That is why it is called as field effect transistor. Okay, field effect transistor. So initially when VGS is 0, that means no gate to source voltage is applied. There is very important condition. When these two polarities applied, the polarity should be applied in such a way that source and drain, current should flow from source to drain. The charge carrier should be repelled by the source and attracted by the drain. So such polarity has to be applied, and when you apply gate to source voltage, it should be always in reverse bias condition. Okay, reverse bias condition, so that this 2 PN junction is reverse bias, and as you keep on increasing the VGS, the depletion layer width will increase, the channel width will decrease, and the current which will be flowing from source to drain can be controlled. Okay, so this is also a transistor where external voltage or external field which has been applied controls the amount of current flowing through it. Okay, so this is all about junction field effect transistor. In that we have studied N channel JFET. Similarly, we will try to understand the construction and working of P channel JFET. Hello students, next we will try to understand construction and working of p-channel JFET. In the previous video I explained you what exactly we mean by JFET and construction and working of n-channel JFET. Similarly, we will try to understand p-channel JFET. Okay, p-channel JFET. The construction part will be almost similar. If you recall, when we designed n-channel JFET, we took n-type semiconductor. Now, when we design or when we construct a p-channel JFET, we will use p-type semiconductor. Okay, so p-type semiconductor, that means a semiconductor. This is p-type semiconductor. P-type semiconductor, that means a semiconductor which has majority charge carrier as holes. Okay, majority charge carrier as holes. So these two terminals will be named exactly same as n-channel. From where the charge carrier will move is called as source, and where it will get attracted or drained is called as drain. So these are the two terminals, source and drain. And if you remember or recall, whenever we design a JFET, we need to have two PN junction on the either side of the semiconductor. To form PN junction, already we have P region now. If you remember, in n-channel JFET, we doped trivalent impurity so that we get P region. Okay, on both the sides we get P region by doping trivalent impurity in case of n-channel JFET. Now for p-type p-channel JFET, we have p-type semiconductor, so we already have a P region. So what we have to dope is, we have to dope pentavalent impurity so that what we get here is an N region and of course forms a PN junction. Okay, and you know that as soon as a PN junction is formed, what happens is there will be a depletion layer, a potential barrier which will be there at the junction, right? So this is the potential barrier. Okay, and these two terminals are connected together. These two terminals are internally always connected together, and a common terminal will be taken out called as, what is that terminal? Gate. So in BJT we had emitter, base, collector, and in JFET we have source, drain and gate. Okay, source, drain and gate. So this is the construction part of p-channel JFET. Terminal source will repel all the holes which will move towards the drain, which will constitute current in a p-channel JFET. So in a p-channel JFET, majority charge carrier or current conduction will be because of holes. Okay, and of course this terminal will repel the holes, this terminal will accept the holes, therefore this is called as source and this is called as drain. And what we did is, on either side of the semiconductor we have doped pentavalent impurity so that we get N region. As soon as a PN junction is formed, a depletion layer will be there, and the area between these two PN junction is called as channel, or I can say channel width. Okay, channel width. This channel width will define how many number of holes or the charge carrier will move from source to drain. Okay, and these two PN junction will be connected together and it will be considered as one terminal, which terminal will be gate. Okay, so this is the construction part. Next we will try to understand the operation or the working part. Okay, so when I will explain working of p-channel JFET, I will not show these two terminals are internally connected. I will just take out one terminal. It has to be assumed that these two terminals are internally connected. Okay, so again we have drain, we have source, then we have gate, on either side we will dope pentavalent impurity to form a PN junction. Okay, and of course as soon as a PN junction will be formed, a depletion layer will be there. Okay, and as this is a p-type semiconductor, it will have large amount of holes which will be available to flow from source to drain. Okay, the terminal, the common terminal which will be taken out of these two PN junction will be called as gate. So initially what we will do is we will apply a potential between drain and source such a way that current flows from source to drain. Okay, so now just look at the circuit diagram and can you tell me what should be the potential which has to be applied between source and drain so that current flows from source to drain? So for that, first we should know that the current in a p-type JFET will be p-channel JFET will be because of holes. So holes has to move from source towards drain, only then we say the current is flowing through the transistor. So what has to be done? Holes should be connected to which terminal? Same terminal will repel each other, so it will be connected to positive, negative, like this, plus and minus. Positive terminal will repel holes, and this potential which has been applied is applied between two terminals, source and drain, therefore it is called as VDS. It is called as VDS. Okay, so now as soon as this potential is applied, at this point there is no opposition to the charge carrier. The channel width is maximum. So if the channel width is maximum, what happens is the charge carrier will easily travel from source to drain. Okay, they will easily travel from source to drain. Okay, and this current which is flowing from source to drain has to be externally controlled by applying a field, external field. That is how the name field effect transistor is there. So what has to be done is every time when the current has to be controlled, the gate to source terminal has to be reverse bias. Reverse bias, see how it has to be done. Source is P region, gate is N region. Reverse bias means N should be connected to positive and P should be connected to negative. So this is plus, this is minus. This potential is called as VGS, that is gate to source voltage. Okay, and initially what I will do is I will put up a switch which is in open state. That means until the switch is open, there is no potential between gate and source. So the first case is when VGS is equal to 0. Tell me what happens when VGS is equal to 0. When VGS is equal to 0, that means there is no gate to source voltage. Okay, if there is no gate to source voltage, there is no reverse bias potential to the PN junction. The depletion layer width will be very small or minimum at that point. So the channel width between these two PN junction will be maximum, and if the channel width is maximum, or the charge carrier which will move from source to drain will be maximum, and that current which will be flowing in the transistor is called as IDS. This is the charge carrier which is moving from source to drain. We specify it as IDS. So when VGS is equal to 0, IDS is maximum. Okay, IDS is maximum. Now suppose we switch on this terminal or this switch. As soon as the switch is on, what happens is now there will be a reverse bias potential between gate and source. So what happens is the depletion layer width, as the reverse bias to the PN junction is increased, the depletion layer width increases. And what happens to the when the depletion layer width increases? The channel width decreases. That means now less amount of charge carrier will move from source to drain. So when I say what I can say is when VGS is increased, what happens to IDS? IDS decreases. Okay, IDS decreases. And when VGS is maximum, When VGS is maximum, maximum means we will keep on increasing the reverse bias voltage, and when we keep on increasing the reverse bias voltage, see what happens is the depletion layer width entirely occupies the channel width. That means what will happen is there will be no channel width, and if there is no channel width, will there be any possibility of charge carrier moving from source to drain? Of course not. That means at this point no current is flowing from source to drain. That means IDS will be equal to 0. Okay, IDS will be equal to 0. So the current which is flowing in the transistor is controlled by the external field which has been applied. Therefore it is called as field effect transistor, and this type specifically is called as junction field effect transistor. Okay, so this is nothing but the construction and working of P channel JFET. Okay, so now when you correlate N channel and P channel, it becomes very easy for you to understand how exactly we construct a JFET and what is the working of that particular JFET. Okay, so it is very, very simple. See, when you have to draw, if you take N channel JFET, you take N type semiconductor. If you have to construct P channel JFET, you take P type semiconductor. Okay, the two terminal will be named as source and drain. Okay, and then we have to form a PN junction. So if it is N channel, you dope trivalent impurity to get P region. If you want to design a P channel, then what you have to do is you have to dope pentavalent impurity to get N region, and these two PN junctions are internally connected together, and one more terminal is taken out, is called as gate. Okay, and then when you understand the operation, what you do is you apply polarity to source and drain such that charge carrier will move from source to drain. Okay, so if it is N channel, source is connected to negative, drain is connected to positive, negative terminal will repel the electrons will move towards drain and get attracted by the positive terminal. And if it is P channel JFET, source will be connected to positive, drain will be connected to negative, positive terminal will repel holes will move towards drain and get attracted by the negative terminal. That current will be called as IDS, and the potential between the drain and source will be called as VDS. And the current which will be flowing from source to drain will be controlled by the external potential which has been applied between gate and source. And remember always that gate and source terminal should always be reversed bias condition. It should be in reversed bias condition. Okay, so this is all about construction and working of N channel and P channel JFET. I hope you have understood. Next, let us try to understand the electrical property of JFET. We call it as drain characteristics. Drain characteristics of course, JFET. And the diagram or the graph which I am going to draw and explain is true for both N channel as well as P channel. Okay, so when you draw a drain characteristics, you draw a graph between VDS on the x-axis, which will be in voltage, and IDS on y-axis, which will be in milliampere. Okay, let's say this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and say this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 milliampere. Okay. Now in the previous section I explained you what happens when there is no external potential applied. External potential means reverse bias potential. No reverse bias potential applied between gate and source. So what will happen if there is no external potential is applied between gate and source? Of course, the two PN junction will not be externally supplied. That reverse bias will not be there for the two PN junctions. So what happens to the depletion layer? The depletion layer will be at its minimum, and if the depletion layer is at its minimum, the channel width is maximum, right? For channel width is maximum, so for a small VDS current will increase rapidly. Okay, so the graph will be like this. This is the graph for when VGS equals to 0. Okay, now next what I'll do is I will keep VDS and IDS constant. I will change VGS, gate to source voltage. I am increasing the reverse bias voltage. Tell me what happens when VGS is increasing? IDS will decrease for the same VDS potential, right? Drain to source potential उतना ही रखेंगे, IDS कम हो जाएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर मैंने रिवर्स बायस पोटेंशियल बढ़ाया तो डिप्लीशन लेयर विड्थ बढ़ेगी, चैनल विड्थ कम होगी. चैनल विड्थ कम होगी तो कम चार्ज कैरियर ड्रेन से सोर्स में जाएंगे, तो IDS विल डिक्रीज. ओके, सो IDS विल डिक्रीज. IDS will decrease. Say VGS is equal to minus volt. I am writing this as minus because I am applying a reverse bias potential between gate and source. So therefore I am specifying it by minus sign. Okay. Similarly, so when I keep on increasing the reverse bias voltage for a given value of VDS, IDS will keep on decreasing. VGS is equal to minus 3. Okay, so this is called as drain characteristics of junction field effect transistor. Okay, so what is the first thing which we can specify? We can specify that the drain characteristics for JFET is drawn between VDS on x-axis and IDS on y-axis for constant VGS. Okay, second, when VGS is equal to 0, IDS is maximum. IDS is maximum for a particular value of VDS, right? Because the channel width is maximum at this point when VGS is equal to 0. Third, when VGS is gradually increased, the drain to source current decreases. Drain to source current, that is IDS, decreases for a given value of VDS. Okay, so these are the observations of a drain characteristics of JFET from the graph which has been drawn between VDS and IDS for a constant value of VGS. So keeping in reference this graph and this observation, we will try to understand few parameters of JFET which is there in your course. Okay, now let us try to understand the important parameters of JFET on the basis of the drain characteristics of JFET. Okay, so next is JFET parameter. In that, first is dynamic drain resistance. Dynamic drain resistance specified by RD. Okay, specified by RD, and it is the ratio of it is the ratio of small change in VDS, that means drain to source voltage, to the small change in IDS, that is drain to source current, at constant value of VGS. Okay, so it is given by RD is given by delta VDS, that means change in VDS, to the change in IDS at constant VGS. Okay, typically RD for a N channel or a P channel JFET is around 400 kilo ohms. Okay, basically it's a impedance of the circuit. Okay, second is mutual conductance or transconduction. It is specified as GM. Okay, so it is the ratio of small change in IDS to the small change in VGS, that means gate to source voltage, at constant value of VDS. Okay, so GM is specified as delta IDS upon delta VGS at constant VDS. Okay, the unit of GM is Siemens, specified by capital S, and typically GM for a N channel or a P channel JFET is between 150 mu S to 200 mu S. Okay, so these are the first two important parameters of JFET. I hope you have understood. Now the last of the JFET parameter, the third one, is amplification factor, denoted by mu. Okay, denoted by mu. It is the ratio of drain to source voltage, that means drain to source voltage means VDS, to the ratio to the gate to source voltage VGS at constant value of IDS. Okay, so and of course this is represented by mu, so mu will be delta VDS upon delta VGS at constant IDS. Okay, and typically mu is 100 for a particular designed JFET. Okay, so we try to understand the electrical parameter of JFET and the important parameters of JFET. So this is all about JFET, and in the next class we will try to understand MOSFET. I hope you have understood. Thank you.